Welcome back to the channel Numisma Hub Coin Lovers. In today's video, we're diving into one of the most talked about coins in the collector's market. Top 6. First up, the 1974D Kennedy half dollar. Don't let its ordinary appearance fool you. This coin may be sitting in your pocket change or forgotten in an old drawer, but it could be worth big money. That's right, this coin has the potential to change your financial fortune overnight. Introduced after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy, the Kennedy half dollar series began in 1964. The 1974D version, minted in Denver, is one of the more common coins in circulation, at least on the surface. But there's more to this coin than meets the eye, and if you have the right one, you could be looking at thousands of dollars. Now, let's talk numbers. The Denver Mint struck over 79 million Kennedy half dollars in 1974, which sounds like a lot, but it's not about how many were minted, it's about the eras, the conditions, and the rarity within that massive batch that makes a few of them worth a fortune today. Collectors are always on the lookout for unique mint errors, especially those involving doubling. And guess what? There is a known double die-obverse DDO variety for the 1974D Kennedy half dollar. That's where the real money lies. Some of these error coins have fetched upwards of $2,000 to $4,000 at auctions. The DDO error means the coin was struck with a die that had the design doubled slightly, making the letters and numbers appear as if they're shadowed or echoing. In the 1974D, this is most noticeable in the words, "In God We Trust and Liberty." If you spot this doubling, you might be sitting on a gold mine, but the value doesn't stop at errors. Condition plays a huge role. Coins graded MS66 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can fetch hundreds, even without the error. A pristine 1974D Kennedy half dollar graded MS67 sold for over $3,000. Let that sink in for a moment. A coin that you might find in an old coin jar, if in top condition, could be worth more than your month's salary. That's the magic of coin collecting. And the Kennedy series, in particular, has become increasingly popular over the past decade. If you're unsure whether your 1974D coin is valuable, the first step is to closely inspect it under good lighting or with a magnifying glass. Look at the inscriptions carefully. If anything looks doubled or unusual, you may have something special. Still unsure? Your best bet is to get it authenticated. Send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. A small investment in grading can bring you a major return if your coin turns out to be a top-tier error or a mint-state example. Another key factor is luster. Coins that have never circulated or have been stored properly have a bright, shiny finish that collectors love. A dull coin will be worth far less than one that sparkles, even if both are technically uncirculated. You might be wondering, why is the 1974D so special compared to other Kennedy half dollars? The answer lies in timing and rarity. The mid-1970s were a transitional time for US coinage, and certain minting inconsistencies slipped through the cracks, especially at the Denver Mint. And here's the best part. The US Mint stopped producing Kennedy half dollars for general circulation after 2001. That makes earlier dates like 1974 more desirable, especially in excellent condition. The demand has only grown as younger collectors enter the market. So, how can you sell a valuable 1974D Kennedy half dollar if you have one? Start by researching recent auction prices on platforms like Heritage Auctions or eBay. A DDO error in top condition can attract fierce bidding wars from collectors. Many sellers underestimate their coins and list them too cheaply. Don't make that mistake. Know the value of your coin before putting it on the market. That 50-cent piece might be worth $500 or more. Remember, even without a visible error, your 1974D Kennedy half dollar could still be worth good money if it's in mint-state condition. Coins graded MS65 and above routinely sell for $100 to $500 to $500, depending on the demand at the time. Some collectors specialize exclusively in Kennedy half dollars, meaning the competition is hot. And as more people get into the hobby, especially via online platforms and YouTube, prices continue to climb. There's never been a better time to cash in, and let's not forget the sentimental and historical value. Owning a piece of American history that commemorates one of the nation's most beloved presidents is something special. Add the financial gain to that, and you've got a win-win situation. So, the next time you come across an old coin collection or sort through your piggy bank, don't overlook the 1974D Kennedy half dollar. This sleeper coin could be your ticket to a financial windfall, and all it takes is one lucky find. In summary, focus on three things. Look for the DDO error, check the coin's condition, and get it professionally graded. These steps could turn a 50-cent coin into a payday. Coins like these prove that treasure is sometimes hiding in plain sight. Next up, today's spotlight is on a coin you might already have in your collection, the 1989D Kennedy half dollar. What if I told you this everyday-looking coin could be worth thousands of dollars in today's market? Stick around, because this is the kind of story that turns pocket change into pure gold. Introduction to the Kennedy half dollar series. The Kennedy half dollar was first issued in 1964 as a tribute to the late President John F. Kennedy. It became an instant collector's favorite, both for its emotional significance and its unique design. Over the years, some mint years have turned into numismatic gold mines, and 1989D is one of them. What makes the 1989D special? The 1989D Kennedy half dollar may seem common. It had a mintage of over 23 million coins from the Denver Mint, but it's not just the quantity that matters. Rarity is also defined by condition, mint errors, and collector demand, and this coin checks all those boxes when the circumstances are right. Big money lies in condition. One of the key factors driving the value of the 1989D half dollar is its condition. While circulated coins may be worth around face value, those graded in MS67 or higher condition can command a hefty premium. We're talking hundreds to even thousands of dollars at auction. Grading explained simply. Coin grading is done on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS60 MS63 is considered mint state, but relatively common. Hit MS66, and you're entering premium territory. Find a 1989D in MS67 or MS68, and now you're holding a coin that could fetch over $1,500 to $3,000 plus, no exaggeration. Recent auction highlights. In recent years, auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have featured top-grade 1989D Kennedy half dollars. One remarkable example, graded MS67, sold for nearly $2,300, while another MS68 specimen soared above $4,000, an incredible return on a 50-cent piece. The role of mint errors. Besides condition, mint errors can catapult the value of any coin. Some 1989D Kennedy half dollars have been found with double dies, off-center strikes, and clipped planchettes. These errors, especially when certified by grading services, can easily bring four-figure prices. Double die obverse DDO. Error to watch for is the double die obverse. This can be spotted by closely examining the letters in Liberty or In God We Trust. If there's clear doubling, your coin might be worth hundreds or even thousands, depending on clarity and grade. Off-center strikes and clipped planchettes. Off-center strikes, where the image isn't fully centered, and clipped planchettes, where a portion of the coin is missing, are two errors found in 1989D coins. These rare defects can drastically boost a coin's value, especially when graded by PCGS or NGC. Where to get your coin graded to realize its full value? Your coin must be authenticated and graded. Services like PCGS Professional Coin Grading Service and NGC Numismatic Guarantee Company are trusted worldwide. A small fee could turn your coin into a certified jackpot. Don't clean your coin before sending your coin for grading. Do not clean it. Cleaning a coin, even gently, destroys its natural patina and can lower its value significantly. Collectors and graders want coins in their raw, untouched state. How to identify a high-value coin at home? Want to know if your 1989D is valuable? Start with a magnifying glass and check the coin's surfaces. Look for strong details, no scratches, original mint luster, and potential errors. If it looks pristine, it might be worth submitting for grading. The rarity of MS67 and higher. Out of millions minted, only a tiny handful have survived in MS67 or better. Most entered circulation and show signs of wear. The few pristine examples are rare, making them incredibly desirable to serious collectors. A collector's dream investment. The coin market has seen rapid growth in recent years, with gold prices high and collectibles booming. Rare Kennedy half dollars like the 1989D are with becoming solid investment pieces. Imagine buying a $20 coin and seeing it appreciate to over $2,000. Historical significance adds value. Although 1989 wasn't a milestone year, every Kennedy half dollar carries a legacy. Its design, featuring JFK on the obverse and the presidential seal on the reverse, is steeped in American history, making it attractive for patriotic collectors. What dealers are looking for? Dealers are on the hunt for top-grade coins and mint errors. If you've got a well-preserved 1989D, you might be sitting on something they're willing to pay big money for. But don't sell without checking recent auction prices and getting expert advice. Coin shows and conventions. Take your 1980 to a coin show or numismatic convention. Professional graders often attend these events, and dealers offer on-the-spot cash for high-quality coins. It's also a great way to learn more and meet other passionate collectors. Online marketplaces can be Goldman's platforms like eBay. Great collections and heritage auctions are hotspots for rare coin sales. Many top-grade 1989D Kennedy half dollars have changed hands online for thousands, but be cautious. Always buy and sell from reputable sources. Tips to store your coins safely. If you think your coin is valuable, store it properly. Use non-PVC plastic holders or coin capsules. Keep it away from humidity, chemicals, and direct light. Good preservation is key to maintaining high value over time. It could happen to you every month. Someone finds a valuable coin sitting in a coin jar, inherited from relatives or picked up in circulation. Your 1989D Kennedy half dollar could be your golden ticket. Check your change. Raid your piggy bank. You never know. Final thoughts. This coin could make you rich. So there you have it, folks. The 1989 D Kennedy half dollar may not look like much, but under the right conditions, it could be worth thousands of dollars. Whether it's a high grade, a rare error, or just good fortune, this coin has the potential to change your financial game overnight. Don't spend it, inspect it, protect it, and possibly cash in. Next up, today's spotlight is on a coin that might be sitting unnoticed in your collection, the 1994 D Kennedy half dollar. While most people think of this coin as common pocket change, you'll be shocked to learn that some rare versions of this coin are selling for thousands of dollars in today's hot numismatic market. Buckle up, this might just be the coin that makes you rich overnight. The Kennedy half dollar was first introduced in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. By 1994, the coin had been in circulation for 3 decades. While most 1994 D Kennedy half dollars are considered common, a few rare examples command premium prices that can blow your mind. Minted in Denver, the 1994 D Kennedy half dollar carries the D mint mark just below Kennedy's neck on the obverse. Over 23 million of these coins were struck that year, which might make you think they aren't rare, but here's the twist. Mint errors, high-grade specimens, and collector demand are turning a few into gold mines. So, what makes one 1994 D Kennedy half dollar worth just 50 cents, while another might bring in over $2,000 at auction? The answer lies in condition, grade, and die varieties. Coins in near-perfect condition, especially those graded by PCGS or NGC at MS68 or higher, are incredibly rare. Let's start with the basics. Most circulated 1994 D Kennedy half dollars are only worth face value or a little more. You might see uncirculated examples sell for $2 to $5, but the big money is in top-tier, mint state grades, the kind of coins that look like they just left the mint yesterday. For example, an MS671994 D Kennedy half dollar recently sold for over $300, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Only a handful of coins have ever graded MS68 or better, and when those hit the auction block, bidding wars erupt with prices soaring well past $1,000. In fact, one PCGS MS681994 D Kennedy half dollar sold for a jaw-dropping $2,115 in an online auction. That's more than 4,000 times its face value. Imagine finding a coin like that in your coin jar or tucked away in a forgotten collection. What makes MS68 coins so valuable at that level? Every detail must be sharp, the luster should be booming, the surface must be flawless, and the strike must be strong. Even the tiniest imperfection knocks it down a grade, and that could mean hundreds of dollars lost in value to hit the jackpot with your 1994 D half dollar. You'll need to carefully inspect it for signs of high grade. Use a magnifying glass or a loupe, look at the fields and devices for scratches or nicks, and check for strong luster. If it looks perfect to your eye, it might be worth getting graded. Another factor that can skyrocket the value is mint errors. A small number of 1994 D Kennedy half dollars have been discovered with dramatic striking errors, off-center strikes, double dies, or even planchette flaws. These errors are highly sought after by collectors and can command hundreds to thousands of dollars. Let's talk about one example, a double die obverse DD, though not officially recognized for this year by major grading companies. Some collectors claim to have seen minor doubling on the letters "In Liberty" and "In God We Trust." If verified, such varieties would explode in value. Also, be on the lookout for proof-like surfaces on circulation strikes. These coins were never intended to be proofs, but occasionally a new die pair would produce a coin with deep mirrored fields and frosty devices, a collector's dream and a recipe for high auction prices. If you think you've got a rare or high-grade 1994 D Kennedy half dollar, the best thing you can do is submit it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. A professional grade can turn an ordinary-looking coin into a verified treasure with huge resale value. Online marketplaces like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and great collections have all reported multiple high-value sales for 1994 D Kennedy halves, especially those graded MS67 and above. That means there's a real market and real demand for these top coins. One more insider tip. Original mint sets from 1994 often contain better preserved Kennedy half dollars. If you have an old sealed US mint set lying around, check it. You might have a gem-quality coin just waiting to be discovered. Interestingly, the Kennedy half dollar saw declining use in circulation during the 1990s, which means many of the best examples were preserved by collectors rather than heavily circulated. This helps increase the odds of finding a high-grade piece from this year now. Here's the exciting part. Because many people overlook Kennedy half dollars from the 1990s, they're often undervalued in estate sales, flea markets, and coin shops. If you hunt smart, you might snag a high-value coin for pocket change prices. Even more promising is the trend of rising interest in modern coins. As more collectors enter the hobby, demand is increasing for high-grade examples from the late 20th century. That's why now is the perfect time to cash in on a 1994 D if you've got the right one. Think about it. A single coin from 1994, struck in Denver, could be worth thousands just because it's perfectly preserved or has a rare flaw. That's the beauty of coin collecting. Hidden value is everywhere, and sometimes it's right under your nose. So, before you spend that Kennedy $50 or toss it into a coin jar, take a second look, inspect it closely, check the grade, check for errors, and if it looks promising, get it graded. You could be holding on to a small fortune without even knowing it. Next up in today's video, we're diving into the world of one of the most talked about and potentially profitable coins in the Kennedy $50 series, the 1973D Kennedy $50. You won't believe how much this coin is worth in today's collector market. Some rare examples are selling for big money, and if you have the right one, it might just make you rich overnight. Let's start with the basics. The Kennedy $50 was first introduced in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy. Just months after his assassination, these coins quickly became a symbol of national pride and were collected right from the start. But not all Kennedy $50 are created equal, and the 1973D version is one that has gained serious attention from collectors. Minted at the Denver Mint, the 1973D Kennedy $50 bears the D Mint mark just below Kennedy's neck on the obverse side. That small letter could hold the key to a potential fortune, especially if your coin checks all the right boxes. In 1973, Kennedy $50 were not released into circulation. They were only struck for mint sets. This makes the 1973D coin a little rarer compared to other years, and that alone adds to its value. So if you find one in your pocket change, you've got a mystery on your hands. Let's talk numbers. Over 83 million 1973D Kennedy $50 were minted. That might seem like a lot, but remember, these were not meant for circulation. Most remained sealed in government-issued mint sets, which means finding one in uncirculated, pristine condition is still possible and very valuable. The real treasure lies in the grade. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70. If your 1973D Kennedy $50 is graded MS-67 or higher, you're looking at a coin that could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on market demand. For example, a 1973D Kennedy $50 graded MS-67 was sold at auction for a staggering $2,000. And that's not a one-off case. As demand for high-grade specimens increases, so does the price. Collectors are always on the hunt for those top-tier coins. But what makes these coins so special at high grades? It's all about the strike quality, luster, and absence of contact marks. A 1973D with sharp details, reflective surfaces, and no scratches is like gold to a collector. Here's where things get really exciting: errors and varieties. Some 1973D Kennedy $50 feature striking errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, and planchet issues. These types of mint errors are extremely sought after and can easily push the value of your coin into the four-figure range. A known double die obverse DDO from 1973D, though rare, has been confirmed in private collections. If you spot extra thickness on the date or the words "In God We Trust," you might be holding something incredibly valuable. Another type of error to watch for is the clipped planchet, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a mistake in the minting process. These coins are highly collectible and can easily fetch hundreds of dollars, even in lower grades. So, how can you know if your 1973D Kennedy $50 is worth the big bucks? First, check the condition. Is it shiny, clean, and scratch-free? Then, look for any unusual features or errors. Finally, get it professionally graded by a service like PCG's or NGC. Grading is essential. A coin that might look like pocket change to you could turn out to be a hidden gem once it's officially graded. And trust me, a certified MS-67 example will have buyers lining up at auction. Let's break it down even further. A 1973D Kennedy $50 in MS-60 condition might be worth around $3 to $5, but once you hit MS-65, the value jumps to $25 to $50. And once you get into the MS-67 or error territory, now we're talking about $500 to over $2,000. What's the takeaway here? If you have a 1973D Kennedy $50, don't dismiss it. This coin has hidden potential, and in the right condition, it could be a small fortune waiting to be discovered. Even better, because these coins weren't released into regular circulation, people often forget about them. That means mint condition. Examples are still out there, tucked away in old mint sets, drawers, or estate collections, just waiting to be found. If you're serious about coin collecting or investing, the 1973D Kennedy $50 should definitely be on your radar. It combines historical importance, limited distribution, and the potential for grading and error premiums, a triple threat for collectors. And don't forget, this is part of a larger trend. Kennedy $50 from the 1970s are gaining traction in the market. And as more people turn to coin collecting, values are likely to keep rising, so dig through your coin collections, check those mint sets, and inspect your coins closely. The next big treasure might just be hiding in plain sight, a simple 1973D Kennedy $50 that could change your life overnight. Next up in today's video, We're diving deep into one of the most intriguing and often overlooked coins in American history, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar. Believe it or not, some versions of this coin are worth big money in today's market, and one rare variant could even make you rich overnight. Before you empty your coin jars or run to your local coin shop, let's talk about why the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar is so special. At first glance, it looks like just another half-dollar. But dig a little deeper and you'll discover rare varieties and minting errors that can skyrocket the value from 50 cents to thousands of dollars. The Kennedy half-dollar was introduced in 1964, shortly after President John F. Kennedy's assassination. It was meant as a tribute, and Americans cherished it so much that it rarely circulated. Fast forward to 1971, and we find a major shift in the coin's composition, and that's where things start to get interesting. In 1971, the U.S. Mint stopped using silver in regular half-dollar coins. Prior to that, from 1965 to 1970, these coins contained 40% silver. But starting in 1971, all half-dollars were supposed to be made from a copper-nickel clad composition. However, not all of them were. A small number of 1971 Kennedy half-dollars were mistakenly struck on leftover 40% silver planchettes from 1970. These are known as transitional errors. And guess what? These rare silver 1971 half-dollars have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. So how can you tell if your 1971 Kennedy half-dollar is one of these rare silver errors? Start with a sound test. Silver coins make a high ringing tone when dropped. But the real verification comes from weighing the coin. A regular clad half-dollar weighs about 11.34 grams, while a 40% silver one weighs closer to 11.5 grams. Another method is to inspect the edge of the coin. Most clad coins show a copper-colored stripe along the edge, but a silver coin will have a solid silver edge with no color variation. If yours looks like that, it's time to get it authenticated. Now, let's talk value. A typical 1971 Kennedy half-dollar in circulated condition is only worth its face value minus 50 cents, but a silver error can be worth anywhere from $1,000 to over $6,000, depending on its condition and whether it's been graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. One famous example is a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar struck on a 40% silver planchet. This coin was certified by PCGS and sold for over $13,000 at auction. That's right, $13,000 for a coin you might accidentally find in your pocket change. But silver errors aren't the only valuable finds from 1971. There are also striking errors like off-center strikes, double dies, and planchette errors that can make your coin unique and therefore much more valuable to collectors. Let's dive into the double die obverse DDO variety. If you look closely at the words "In God We Trust" or the date, NC doubling, that could indicate a valuable error. These errors are subtle, but collectors pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars for confirmed examples. Don't forget about high-grade specimens. A 1971 Kennedy half-dollar in MS67 condition or higher is extremely rare. The better the condition, the more valuable the coin. Some flawless examples have been auctioned for over $2,500 just for their pristine condition. Many collectors overlook coins with proof-like qualities. While the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar wasn't released in silver-proof sets, there are a few coins that appear to have a mirror-like surface due to die polishing. These are highly desirable among niche collectors. You might be wondering, where do these valuable coins come from? Most of the silver planchette errors were likely created during the Denver Mint's transition period in early 1971, when old silver blanks were accidentally fed into coin presses meant for clad coins. It's also worth noting that no 1971 Kennedy half-dollars were released in proof sets with silver composition. So if you find a silver 1971 half-dollar, you've likely discovered a mint error, and those are gold mines for coin collectors. If you think you've found a rare 1971 Kennedy half-dollar, the first step is to weigh the coin and examine the edge. If it checks out, you should send it to a coin grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC Numismatic Guarantee Company for authentication. Once graded, your coin's value can increase dramatically. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins that are certified genuine errors. A PCGS or NGC label adds legitimacy and boosts auction potential. You can list rare coins like this on heritage auctions, eBay, or even sell directly through coin dealers or numismatic forums. But always do your research to make sure you're getting fair market value. In today's volatile economy, collecting coins isn't just a hobby, it can be a serious investment. And finding a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar error is like hitting the jackpot. So check your coins carefully. You never know what treasure might be hiding in your change. Next up today, we're diving into one of the most surprising moneymakers in US coin history, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar. You won't believe how much this coin could be worth in today's market. At first glance, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar might seem like just another old coin, But what many people don't realize is that specific examples of this coin can be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, depending on a few key factors. In fact, one rare version has sold for over $2,000 at auction. The Kennedy half-dollar series began in 1964, just months after President John F. Kennedy's assassination. These coins were created to honor his legacy. The 1972D is part of that iconic legacy. Minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark right under Kennedy's neck. Millions of 1972D Kennedy half-dollars were produced, about 141 million, to be exact. So yes, they're common in circulation. But here's the secret: not all of them were created equal. Some were struck with incredible precision, some have rare errors, and others have been preserved in nearly flawless condition. What truly sets the valuable 1972Ds apart are three main things: condition, grade, mint errors, and collector demand. Let's break each one down so you know exactly what to look for. First up, condition. If your 1972D Kennedy half-dollar is heavily worn from circulation, it's probably worth face value. But if it's in mint or near mint condition, especially graded MS66 or higher by PCGS or NGC, then you're talking serious money. An MS66 mint state 661972D Kennedy half-dollar has sold for over $1,800, and even higher grades like MS67 are incredibly rare. At this level, coin collectors will pay top dollar for a pristine example. Only a few exist, making them true modern treasures. Next, we have mint errors. The US Mint isn't perfect, and in 1972 a few odd mistakes slipped through. We're talking about things like off-center strikes, double dies, wrong planchettes, and clipped planchettes. If you find one of these rare error coins, you could be looking at hundreds or thousands of dollars. One spectacular example: a 1972D Kennedy half-dollar struck on a quarter planchette, a smaller blank meant for a 25-cent coin. This error fetched over $1,000 at auction, so always inspect your coins closely. Another potential jackpot is the double die obverse DDO, a type of error where the design is duplicated slightly. While it's rare in the 1972D series, if you find one with a clearly doubled liberty or date, it's time to get that coin graded and appraised immediately. Now, let's bust a myth. Some folks think the 1972D Kennedy half contains silver. It does not. Only 1964 coins were 90% silver, and 1965 to 1970 coins were 40% silver. The 1972D is made of copper-nickel clad, so don't fall for silver rumors, but that doesn't mean it isn't valuable. It's also important to note there are no official proof versions of the 1972D Kennedy half-dollar, since proofs were only minted in San Francisco. But some high-quality strikes from Denver can look proof-like, especially in uncirculated condition. Those are prized by collectors too. If you think you've got a valuable coin, your next step is to get it graded. PCGS and NGC are the two top grading services. A professionally graded coin carries far more value in the market and attracts serious collectors at auctions. Don't worry, you don't need to be an expert to check your change. Grab a magnifying glass and good lighting. Look for sharp details, absence of scratches, and any odd-looking letters or numbers. These little clues could mean you found a rare gem. Here's a jaw-dropper. In 2021, a 1972D Kennedy half-dollar graded MS67 by PCGS sold for a whopping $2,485. That's right, almost $2,500 for a single coin you might have in your pocket right now. If you think you've got a valuable 1972D Kennedy half, don't sell it to just anyone. Take it to a reputable coin dealer or list it through auction platforms like Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, or eBay with certification. These platforms attract serious collectors willing to pay top dollar. The Kennedy half-dollar remains one of the most collected modern coins in the US, and that strong collector base keeps demand high, especially for high-grade or error coins. Prices keep climbing as fewer quality specimens remain in circulation. If you're lucky enough to own a valuable 1972D, protect it. Store it in a non-PVC coin holder or slab. Avoid touching the surface. Skin oils can damage it over time. Proper care can preserve or even increase its value. So remember, not all 1972D Kennedy half-dollars are valuable, but some are worth a small fortune. Focus on condition, look for errors, and don't underestimate what's hiding in your change jar. One great find could make you rich overnight. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe for more coin treasure guides, and comment below if you've got a 1972D Kennedy half in your collection. Until next time, happy hunting and may your pocket change bring you prosperity.